Hi, I'm Raquel, and this is Law Librarian Plans. Today, I am going to be decorating the monthly for the month of August in my Catchall planner. Saturday, August 2nd is National Coloring Book Day, so I thought it might be fun to create a spread using the coloring sticker book and some other black and white sticker books from the Happy Planner, plus additional sheets that I have separate so that I thought it might be fun to make a coloring spread for a coloring books day. So here we are. So here we have my August monthly, and I'm going to set aside the books and then we'll get started. So my Catch-All Monthly has pretty much everything for home that I need to be paying attention to. It also has work days that I need to be planning for because they're special. For example, on the 16th, I'm going to be doing some training, and it's a Saturday. I usually don't work on Saturdays, so I would mark things like that. I may mark chores, I will mark fun things for myself, etc. I don't put things about work except for those specific dates. And mostly because I have a work planner where I keep track of all of that. I also don't put all the budget details. I do put the date when my bills are due. And I also put the date and then any other big dates for money related things. For example, if I have to make a second payment of something, just because I want it here too. But all my bill paying stuff is in my budget planner. So with all of that said, I have my schedule for the month here off to the side, and I can start adding some things in here. So the only thing I have for Friday the 1st is actually my what do I have for Friday? Oh, that I'm off, but that doesn't matter. It's only one day, so I'm going to leave it alone for now. So then we'll see what I can find in here. My paydays. I can put paydays. Now, these are way too big for that purpose. So I'm going to look at some other um, black and white stickers that I have from the Happy Planner and see if there's something a little bit more appropriate there. This sticker book is really very cute. Both all three of them really. But these were the original what they called journaling sticking sticker books. Whew. And they were really great and popular and whatnot. Hard to find at first. Now they've reissued them, so not much of a big deal anymore. But but they still have a special place in my heart, as they say. All right, I have some movie and some things like that. I could put some movies. No no premieres in the month of August. So at least in the oh, look at that. Dollar bills, but they're smaller. So those are perfect. So let me grab then my tweezers, and I'm going to grab those dollar bill stickers, and I'm going to stick them on my paydays. Would like to put my paydays here. I do put my paydays in this because it's nice to know when you're going to have your money coming in. So we're going to use those. I also brought in some icons because I want to start putting this to sort of pre-plan my chores. Left to my own devices, I will leave everything to the last minute and then be like, oh my god, it's so much. So I'm trying to figure out a way to divide up my chores in a way that's less overwhelming. I work outside the home. By the time I get home, I'm usually too tired to really do much of anything except cook and do the dishes. So I rely mostly on days off and the weekends to get that stuff done. So next, I am going to use some icons. I have some Planner Kate icons, and in the section on home, I have some laundry ones. So I'm going to find those, and I'm going to stick them on the days when I want to do laundry. And there's a couple of different laundry ones. So there's these baskets, and there's also actually there's only the one, but there's also this, which is a bed. And I believe I thought there was a towel one that was black and white, but maybe it's only this one right here. So towels here that are black and white. So I use the one that's the basket of clothes for the days when I'm doing laundry. That is my personal laundry. And then I use the sheets ones for when I'm doing sheets and the one for towels when I'm doing towels. I have enough set of everything that I don't need to do things more than like every 3 weeks. That works out pretty well. So it's a rotation of every 3 weeks. I could go longer with pretty much everything, but I try to every week do one type of laundry so that so that it doesn't become a huge overwhelming thing. It's usually one load, maybe two. If I go too long without doing towels, for example, I will definitely need to then do more than one load. So towels, sheets, my clothes, and then they have the 24th and the 31st. I'm going to leave those open for now. One of And the reason for that is that one of those days I'm going to have a meetup, and if I have a meetup, I usually don't do laundry that day. I would do laundry the previous day. So I try to fill that in. I'll fill that in once I know the date, which should be tomorrow. All right, so I've done that. I've done paydays. I have some medical things that I need to include. So I'm going to see if by any chance, if any of these books. Yep. So this book has a doctor's icon. I have it somewhere else, but I'm trying to get through these books. So that's part of my motivation to try to, bring these in when possible. And I believe I just saw that, but maybe not. Where are those icons? This is great. This has trackers. This has tiny, tiny little icons. So see, I could have used these dollar signs too. But what I'm interested in right now is the one that looks like a medical thing. So, oh, this one has laundry icons too, but it's only the washing machine. And like I told you, I like to, I do this in different days. So I'm going to I found the doctor's icon and I actually need it right now for both the 4th and the 5th. I might actually put a box. I'm hoping I can combine those two appointment days into one because otherwise I have to be out of the office for 2 days. All right, and then I need a box. So this one also has some skinny boxes that I just passed, I think. So there's a banner, but let me see if I can find the skinny box and I'll show you what I mean. It has circles. It has a bunch of them. So these are skinny boxes, but as you can see, they're too wide for the monthlies. Those are better for like a dashboard or something else. And what I'm trying to find is the regular boxes as opposed to banners. Those would work. All right, so here are the ones that I was looking for, and they're all too wide for what I'm looking for, but I think this one, I think they're all too wide. Yeah, they're all the same width. Yeah, see, so that's not going to work in here. I may need something else to mark those days. There are some squares. There are also the 2-day boxes, which I could use. Don't love those. Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure. I think, these icons, not the icons, the boxes are too wide even for a vertical. So vertical actually has less space in the um, vertical boxes. So I think because these were meant to be journaling stickers, they are a little bit bigger than what you might have expected otherwise. So I'm gonna put this one here, and then if of course if I get both appointments consolidated into one day, then I'll just take them off. But okay, so these are small enough. These are the shaded arrows. So those are great. And I'm not going to put boxes on everything. Obviously, it needs to be pretty self-explanatory. But here in particular, because we're talking about a doctor's appointments and they're two different doctor's appointments, I want to put them, I want to give each of them a box to explain. But again, I could write directly on this thing. You don't need all the stickers. I actually love all the stickers, so I use them. All right, so there's that. And then let's put that doctor's icon one more time. Then I need to put something to mark on the 6th. I don't really need a box. So again, I'm going back to this one. I haven't started with that coloring book. I'm going to have to find some decorations or something. And this is just to highlight something that needs to happen that day. And the same thing on the 13th. didn't even look to see. I think the icons on that book are too big in the coloring book for what I need. So there's that. Okay. Then next up, I'm looking at my schedule. Oh, this is the day that I told you I have to work. So let me look to see if any of these, this is more of a seasonal kind of a book, but see, I do see something that might be useful if I can find them. So there are these sticky notes, and I think those would be one of those would be perfect for that day when I'm working, that random day. Maybe perfect if it were a little bit smaller. Actually, no, it works. There you go. I can fit it right in right there. Fabulous. Then I'm still paying attention to things, trying to figure out what else I have to include here. So on the 13th, the 20th, and the 20th, no, wait, the 13th, the 18th, and the 20th, I have work events. And I highlight them here. Again, I could probably figure this out without putting it here, but I do like to include them in this spread because then as I'm preparing my weekly, I will look at this and it means I don't have to pull my schedule out. I'll very quickly know. Of course, at that point, I'm also going to be in the frenzy of knowing exactly what's coming. Excuse me, the week ahead. So, didn't find anything I liked. So I'm going to look at this. This is more decorative than functional. It does have some more of those leaves. I love those flowers. I might use those. I haven't decided yet what the decoration is. But like I said, I do need to mark those 3 dates. So I'm going to look through these and see if by any chance, if there's anything else I can use to mark those important dates. Um, and there's very few stickers that are big enough to write in. Mostly in the other book that I showed you in this one. Let me see in this one too. This is like a collection of stickers. Oh, I see. These are mostly, well, some collected from other books and some um, very small icons, which is great, and some collected from probably extra copies of this book. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these fell apart and I just decided to put it together like this. I'll see more of those sticky notes, which is not what I need right now. What I need. All right, I can use some of these, and I think I still have some left in the original book, so I'm going to start there. The 13th in particular is orientation. It's the beginning of orientation week. So I want to put something there because I have to attend an event. So I'm going to put that one here. So that's a good use of these banners. Then both of those, the 20th and the 18th, are also related events. So one of them is an orientation and one of them is faculty meeting. So I will try to put some banners on those as well. I don't think I need one for faculty meeting. I think the orientation ones are the ones that I'm most interested in marking as special. All right. Oh, that's very crooked. So even though they're a little bit bigger, in this instance, I think they're important enough that these are like important dates to me. So I think I can, it's good that they kind of jump out of the page. And then for the 20th, I think I saw some squares, some little squares. Yeah. So these little squares are actually perfect for that because I can just put, you know, an abbreviation and it will be fine. So there's that. Oops. Ooh. Okay. So then, do I have all the dates? Yes. So I need two more things. I think I have my laundry stickers. Oh, a bill paying sticker. So let's see. Maybe let's see if this has a bill paying type sticker. No, this is mostly decorative. Has those big dollar bills, which is not what I need. So the bill paying sticker see, looking through this. Oh, I like these. Okay. There's some push pins. I'm going to grab a push pin. Oh, I stuck to the page there. And then I'm going to see if I can grab another one of those smaller boxes. If I can find them again. Oh, they were in the blue one. That's right. This is the doodles. So in the blue book here, I can then find another box that works. There's some to-do boxes. There's these. Let's see. I love the tiny little icons. The tiny little icons are helpful. Or would be helpful if I needed them right now, but that's not what I need. All right. Oh, I've used many of the fitness ones. So obviously I did find this very useful at some point. I don't want those flags. I don't want those flags. I want something else, and I can't find anything else that gives me enough space to write. Right. One more pass. I think I'm going to grab something that doesn't need the push pin, but I've run out of the circles, the plain circles. Oh, here we go. Plain circles would be fun. Um, This shouldn't be this hard, people. This really shouldn't be that hard. I think I want another one of the long boxes, even if it's too big. So I think I'm going to use this one here, even though it's huge. I'm going to use it here. Oh no, I really do not like that. Ugh. Then you get to that point where you're like, oh no, that doesn't really work. I have these squares as a work. Those are work. I want to see maybe one of those circles. I have to go with one of the circles if I can find one. Okay. I'm going to use a circle. It doesn't have to be very big. It just has to say pay bills. So I'm just attaching. Let's see. I'm going to trim that push pin that you saw. Okay. I want it to look like I'm actually really pinning that circle down, even though, normally you wouldn't have to, right? So pin it like that. There we go. So now that's the pay bills icon. And then I need some recycling stickers, which I haven't seen in those books, but I know I have them in my Planner Kate book. So I'm going to look for the home section. And let's see, in the home section, where are the, oh, I'm looking at them right now. Okay. So these stickers, not for like weekly recycling, because those I put in my weeklies, but these are the days that we go to the recycling center, or at least that I'm planning to go to the recycling center. And when I know that I don't have another commitment going on. So we're going to go there. And normally we go every 2 weeks, but that's not going to work very well. So I'm going to we'll have to go an extra week this time around. So, and the recycling center is a lot of boxes. We're talking about, usually 30, 40 boxes, and they're pretty big and heavy. So the regular recycling will not take them away because they don't fit into the bins. They're really too big for the bins. I don't know why I brought that tab over here, but let me just look very quickly. I have my schedule here, and I don't have. Okay, I know what exactly I'm missing. I'm not going to put them here. I usually work from home on Fridays. That's not going to be an issue because I know what date it is, so I don't need to include it here. All right, so now that we have put everything that we needed, that was functional. Now we're going to go with the decorative stickers. And the way I want to do this is, I think I saw some really lovely, let me see. Oh, I know. I saw them in this book. and I saw a couple things that I was interested in. One of the things is these, although these are vertical and what I need is horizontal, I might use a vertical on the sidebar. Oh, there's these. These would work. Um, yeah, those would work. I think I also saw letters in one of these. So let me see if I can find those letters. And I think I'm going to go with like a plant kind of motif. I still haven't used this much. This one has some flowers. Oh, there's some phrases too. I might use a phrase sticker down here. The flowers are kind of cute. I could definitely use some of those. I like the dolls too. Ah, the letters are here. So I'm trying to think if I want to do back to school or school days or something like that. But let me use I want to use a quote. I don't think there's any of these quotes that are like actually appropriate for across the top there. Um, Mostly because they don't apply. Love this, choose happy, spread joy. Well, no, this is my personal planner. What am I talking about? I'm gonna use choose happy. I think that's perfect. I think that will fit nicely across here. And what I'll do is I'm gonna put it down here for a sec. I'm gonna find some either florals or plants. I haven't decided because this one has plants. And I love the fact that the plants are small, so I could intersperse here. But on the other hand, maybe I just want to do a floral, a big floral, and call it a day. So maybe that's what I'll do. So I'm going to find one of the big florals in here. So I'm back to the coloring sticker book. Okay, I could do those. I kind of like these. These kind of have the potential to be many colors. So what I want to do is I'm going to start with one of the big ones here and perhaps cut them in half and then put the phrase in the middle kind of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I'm just doing a bit of sticker surgery. And I'm going to take this one. Well, not really surgery because I'm not cutting it in order to make it do something to fit, but mostly because I want to be able to decorate around my phrase. So that works there. And then I think I'll put the second one here and then I'll put the words on top. And then when I color this, which I plan to do probably before coloring day so I can show you an after the pen kind of deal. Can I put this nice and straight? Yep, I think I got it. So now we have our flowers and then I have my phrase. So then when I color it, I will color the phrase. Kind of wish it was a little bit trimmer, but it is what it is. I want to color the phrase and color the flowers. But yeah, there we go. So there we have choose happy. That's good. That makes very good use of that space. And then I think I'm going to put another flower in this box right here because I don't need that box for anything. So there we go. So we have that. And then now what this doesn't have, none of these have, are boxes. White boxes that are big enough. There are boxes. I should be clear about that. But none of these boxes are long, right? They're big, but not exactly what I need. I think I want to use this "Yes You Can" sticker. Sorry, you didn't see it off the screen, but there it is. Need that reminder quite often. All right, and oh, I know that first this journaling sticker book. I think still has. I might use more flowers because I like flowers. Okay. So what I can do is I can use It's not ideal, but again, do I really need a big box there, or can I get away with a smaller box or a couple of smaller boxes? This has hearts, it has hexagons. There's only 2 hexagons left. Hexagons fit. They kind of fit. Maybe I'll do that. No, except they don't go. The hexagons are kind of weird. Weird when we have like all these curves and stuff happening here. So maybe something else. All right, I'm putting that hexagon back in the book. I'm still looking. I'm still thinking there might be a solution for that sidebar. It doesn't have to be anything particularly marvelous or anything. I love the little check boxes in this. See the tiny little check boxes? That's very handy. Let's look at this book. This is the one that I made from sheets that I collected. And yeah, this is pretty great because it definitely is a journaling kind of idea. All right, let me think about this some more. I want to put some more flowers probably here. So I think this box is going to be enough because this box is just going to have like a thing or two and that's about it. It's not going to be a huge, I don't put a checklist or anything in here. It's not a functional space the way I use my other functional spaces. Oh, I really do not like that. A box next to a box, not good. Or at least not for me. So I'm going to grab that. I'll put it at the top here. All right, like so. And it's not quite centered, but that's okay. I'm going to go back to this coloring book. Colorez-moi. Okay, color me, color me. Where are those flowers? Oh, they're near the front. Okay, so I think I might put another big flower right here because I can. All right, I'm grabbing that right now. I think that works nicely with everything else. Oops, except I need to put it just a tad higher on the page. I don't want it to run into the yes I can sticker. There we go. So it's like tiny, tiny, tiny bit off here. So I'll cut that off right there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I kind of still want to use those horizontal branch type things. So I think I'm going to do it these because I can and I don't need the space for anything else. So I'm going to put one on this side like so. And that's what I would use them for, is to indicate, oh, it's a span of time when something is happening. Um, but again, this book was meant for people who like to journal. So people who wanted to use like their Happy Planner notebooks for journaling to give them some decorative kind of elements that they could use. And I just think they're just lovely. I find them very, very handy. All right, I have another one that's the same length and it's the same style. I'm going to use that one right here, like so. So I'm framing it basically, kind of doing a little something. Oh, this is sticking badly. Okay, like so. And it's exactly the right length to go across 3 days. So I think we may be done. Yeah, I think so. So this might be a highlight of the month or something like that. I don't love the fact that it's still not quite centered. So if you bear with me, I'm going to take one more extra minute and I'm going to move it, center that on the column. That's much better. Oh yeah, I think it's much better. What's throwing me off is that there's extra white space on the right, but that's the visual part of it is centered. So I think we're done. So if you want to see what this looks like after the pen, come join my Instagram today on Saturday the 2nd and take a look there. And you'll see a version of this before the pen and a version of this after the pen. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for joining me today and have a great day.